So Washington is playing Cleveland this week, and we haven't heard from Mr. Turner in quite some time. But it's always nice when you have a fresh representative. Enter in a football world's own John Turner. How you doing
Hello,
today,
can you hear me?
sir?
Great. Thanks for
How you
asking. How are
doing?
you tonight, Alex?
Washington is leading the NFC East. They are currently 1-1. Um, Optimism for the Washington football team this week?
I am optimistic. I don't think the Browns are a better football team than Washington. I think both teams are looking for the same answers right now, and somebody's going to find one Sunday, and somebody isn't.
That's the truth. Let's enter in our Cleveland Browns representative, Chad Wolf. How you
What's up,
doing,
man? How you
sir?
doing? Good,
Long
good.
time no see, sir.
I know,
Welcome
right?
to
All
the
right.
Carousel.
Thank you,
If you
thank you.
don't know, this is John Turner from a football world. Chad Wolf, take a minute and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Who I am and what I do?
Yes.
All right. Well, my name's Chad. I'm a cook slash business owner, entrepreneur, CEO of my own baking business and all that. Um, what I do, is that. And as far as everything else, I love sports, everything about it. Big Cleveland fan, born and raised, since the day I was born, bleeding, the orange and brown. So, you know, always stay true.
Excellent. So Washington is playing Cleveland this week. So here's how it's going to go. Mr. Turner is going to go first. He's going to have 2 minutes to explain why Washington's going to eradicate Cleveland. After that, we'll have a brief break, and then you'll have your 2 minutes to explain why the Dog Pound is going to handle business against the Washington football team. Let's try to keep it above the torso, no low blows unless you're talking about the teams, and let's have some fun with it. Mr. Turner, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right, so the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team, whatever the hell they're called now, they're a bit rough on the edges. They got no answer for Myles Garrett, but I don't think that your line, as good as it is, you're in the upper medium pack of the NFL. I don't think you guys have any answers for the front seven of Washington. I think that you guys are going to see the pressure that Carson Wentz saw in week one, and you don't have a guy like we just saw in week two in Kyler Murray that can run around human joystick his way out of all those pressures. So, they actually did apply quite a bit of pressure. He was just easily able to get away from it. I don't think Baker Mayfield's going to be able to do that. You've got one of the best tandem running back situations in the league, Kareem Hunt, Chubb, but along with a good solid front seven, I think they're going to be able to have enough back end coverage situations to where when the pressure adds up on Baker, they're not going to be able to rely on that running game and get out in front on the down and distances side of things. So I think it's going to be a chess match of that type of proportion. You're going to see this 4-3 really come into fruition and add a lot of pressure to that line you guys got. And your boy Conklin, he's having some injury issues this week. So he says he's going to play Sunday, but if he doesn't get a lot of reps in this week, what does that tell you? That means that that's a soft spot on the line. And don't think a guy like Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio isn't going to take full advantage of that. That said, it's the Terry McLaurin show on offense. As you can see, they've got Barber for short distances. They got McKissick for dive stuff, off tackle stuff, but you're starting to see Gibson out there on the 11 and 10 personnel packages as far as how they're utilizing their running backs and all that. But as far as catching the ball, it's Terry McLaurin all day. I mean, can your second year cornerback, cover the guy? Your number one safety is out already for the year. So we're going to see what happens. Baker and Haskins only separated by 5 yards passing this year.
Hey, dropping knowledge. He's basically saying that your corners can't cover McLaurin because he's Scary Terry, and he doesn't believe that Cleveland offensive line is good enough for that Washington front seven. Mr. Wolf, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Your time starts now.
All right. Well, I'll give you props about your Washington team, but only for one reason, because you have a lot of Ohio State players from Ohio. Chase Young, Terry McLaren, which you mentioned, like a lot of big stars, Haskins, your quarterback, Ohio State, so I'll give you that. You guys know you're good players and you guys do have a good football team. I'm one to, acknowledge that. But you say the offensive line, Jack Conklin, maybe questionable, but his backup is Chris Hubbard, which was the past starter for the past 2 years that we signed from the Steelers. And Chubb still led the league in rushing, or well, he was second place behind Henry, not far behind, and Hubbard was starting then. So I don't see that being too much a problem. And then you say our cornerbacks, there's another Ohio State guy, Denzel Ward. And, it's a shortened season, preseason, all that. So our offensive line is still gelling together, like a lot of injuries, are going to happen. But like I said, last week was a great game. Bengals are a good team coming up. We did our thing. We got the win. We got that confidence going for us, and like I said, we got Myles Garrett. We can't run the ball. We got Beckham, Landry, three good tight ends. The third one is injured, Njoku, but you got, Bryant, and then you got, of course, Hooper, which you haven't seen too much of him. And Kevin Stefanski, our head coach, was the offense coordinator for Minnesota last year, and you've seen how they ran the ball and threw to them tight ends. So, I see a lot of run the ball. If they can't, get a little inches going, then, obviously, it's not, it's not Drew Brees offense where you're going to, throw shotguns, throw long passes. We're a running team. We're going to manage it.
Okay, all right. He came legit, said the running game is going to be a problem, and we got a lot of good tight ends. No pun intended. 45 seconds, Mr. Turner. Do your thing.
Got a lot of Ohio State guys on the field. We also got a lot of guys from the University of Alabama. They were coached by Mr. Nick Saban in college. Pretty good program down there, too. They seem to win a lot of titles down there in Alabama. But, look, we're not going to take the greatest, show on turf down here in Washington, even though we play on grass. The defense isn't quite yet the 85 Bears, Steel Curtain, or the 2001 Ravens just yet. But I have a feeling – when it comes down to the wire, we're going to see this as one of the top three defenses in football. And I don't know if Baker Mayfield's ready for that this early in the season. I think we're going to frustrate Odell Beckham Jr. early. And if somebody like our Alabama safety hits him over the middle early one time, it's frustration city, and you know that.
Hey, real talk, frustration city. I don't know if you have a solution for the front seven. You do have one of the best guards in the game, but Chad, you got 45 seconds. Speak on it.
Well, you made some good valid points, but at the end of the day, we got, the running game and, our defense, has a few injuries here and there, but, we play in a tough division, AFC North. We just played the Ravens first game of the year. We're terrible the first game of every year. It does the fire season. So I wasn't worried about that. But, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals up and coming. We've been through the battles. We've, been through the wars. Hasn't been always pretty. But when you play in the AFC North, you know how to play rough. You know how to play tough. And, honestly, I just don't think Washington's ready for it. Like Chase Young, they're from Ohio, but not all the team.
This was the Carousel. I want to thank Mr. Wolf for taking time out of his busy schedule to talk some Washington versus Cleveland. I wish both teams good luck. And as the Carousel in the football world says, we're all in the football world. We just live in it. So either you're on or you're off.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the Carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the Carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.